Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel based on an everyday encounter in an everyday life of an SB series of Living with AS chapters. So far in this series, however, we have covered basically in my last one over rituals and routines, which obviously covered stuff like how the rituals and routines works for an SB, including myself. However, I said that for some SBs, however, it's a need having a ritual and routine, and mentioned that some people may label us SBs as having control issues. Also, another one is also the rights and needs of having a rituals and routines, however, is pretty much important for us because it's like a safety net or blanket for us and our world around us, how we fit, so to speak. Another one is also, I've briefly touched on, some people may think within given right, when we have rituals and routines, we can't be flexible in our every given day situation of everyday tasks that we are set aside for ourselves or for others around us that needs to be done, be it and all. And also, I shared some real life situation examples basically based on the rituals and routines, how I go about it. Another one also is also the drawbacks of having the rituals and routines, as well of just one positive that I could think of basically on having the rituals and routines. And also on a last note is, with these rituals and routines, how can you help us SBs and also yourselves based on having these rituals and routines to make ends meet for you all? Okay, since further ado, I better continue on this journey. On the next series over now of this chapter, Living with AS series, is called Literal and Lateral Thinking. Okay, let's begin. To me, literal thinking is another benchmark of an SB's syndrome, however. Meaning that to me, as I mentioned before in one of the videos, if you and I plan to do something, however, be it if we agreed, if I was in a group of you lot, normal people, or just my typical autistic community, that we basically plan something to do together, like, be it, like I said, going to a party together, be it going to a beach or what have you, and then all of a sudden, plans change. However, we need to be in mind, however, with these plans change, as I said, courtesy and respect sort of thing will be nice if you let me, especially me, being that typical SB, that if something changed, I can go about my merry way, do my own everyday thing, as said in my last video, sort of thing, or even just to work around your schedule and my schedule to make ends meet, to maybe plan that task or activity that we agreed to do in the first place, be it, like I said before, beach party or the like, for another day, so that I don't think they must be thinking I've let them down. Or another one is, what goes in my mind is, hang on a minute, did I say something or do something wrong towards them? Because obviously, as I said before, my mind patterns are different to you lots, especially with my sensory input versus the output. Yes, my mind is always going 90 miles a minute, having all these weird thinking in my head. Sometimes I accidentally let it out, you know, what I'm thinking. Many people are just like, oh, why did you say that in the first place, Kieran? Or another one I get is, shut up, Kieran, don't want to hear about it, you know. Or another common one I've heard, for example, is, you know, why did you say that in the first place when you could have just kept your mouth shut and just processed it back in your head, Kieran? I find that to me downright rude, and it shows to me as I'm hanging with you normal people. I've noticed this and witnessed this so many times again, that you guys can be so rude and arrogant towards me, and I feel, oh, okay, you can be high and mighty sometimes, being that upper hand, thinking that I should be following, as I said in my last videos, what you guys want me to do to a given point. And it's like a one-sided conversations, be it, or one-sided fairness of what you guys think in your everyday world. But then, hello, hang on a minute. As I said before, communication is a two-way street, give and take. But as I said, more on that later in the piece, based on communication. Another way about this, as I said, about in the way of changing plans and however to work around yours and mine, is also, to me, just agree to try and stick with the plan at hand that you had before that change of plans arose. Be it like if you got a call back, as I said in my last video, from your boss and you didn't even bother to actually say, excuse me, Karen, I have to go, I'm sorry, we'll leave this for another day, and something's just come up, be it if it's, work, be it if it's a sick friend or sick family member that you need to tend their needs and whatnot. Yes, I'll admit, to me, as an SB, I go into an overdrive mode in my mindset, as I just said before, of my thought processes and patterns. Pretty much wondering what might have what happened, what did I say, or did I do something wrong, and the like. Okay, lateral thinking, however, as I said, it means I go into overdrive with some of the overall decisions that comes up that I may face. For example, what to wear, what to eat, and what to say to your law. Sometimes, as I said, that yes, I have different thought patterns, and that sometimes I'll admit I have a little bit of a fear of what you guys may think of me. And also, another example in this piece of what to wear in that, or what to eat in that, or even if it's just planning to go somewhere. I hate being rushed, okay? Be it if you guys want me out there socializing with you and you think I'm taking my time forever looking inside the wardrobe, thinking what the hell to wear for that given moment of where we're going, be it the beach, what have you. It'd be nice, as I said to you guys, if we come to a mutual understanding and respecting each other's views and differences based on how we work together. Be it, I know I may be slow at making some decisions in my mind. I'll admit, sometimes I really hate making decisions. Then again, sometimes I like to plan. So this is funny. Yeah, I like to plan, but then again, I don't like making decisions too much all the time. As I said later on in the piece, hopefully, based on relationships, this is give and take. For that matter of when I do get rushed and stuff of what to wear, what to eat, when I go out with you, maybe be it if it was like going out for a lunch date or whatever it may be, I get nervous and overwhelmed to the point where, yes, time can be against us. And then when that happens, when I get rushed and then I tend to get forgetful, then I get frustrated with the person and, in my thinking pattern, can't they just shut up and let me think and let me actually go at my pace, so to speak? Yes, again, with some normal people I have associated, however, they do tend to basically get a bit frustrated out of me as well. For example, like in the last few weeks, when I've been grocery shopping, when I'm wanting to buy certain foods that are supposed to be in my dietary requirements, I tend to omit a few things off the checkout sort of thing. Some of them are looking at me strangely, you could have, fooled this. Probably in their mindset, they're probably thinking, what the hell is she thinking? She could have at least budgeted food items properly if she can't afford all this items in front of us. But in all honesty, sometimes I can't help the way I am. I'm picky and all that, and sometimes to a point, as I said to myself, with that AS and OCD, there comes a point of law and order and whatnot. I can admit also, sometimes when given a task, and as I said in my previous piece, I can be a perfectionist. I'll do it once and try to get it right the first time, so no errors is permitted, even though I admit that I hate making mistakes. But then again, making mistakes in the long run is good for us, obviously, because it can teach us pretty much a life lessons on what we should learn and later on in life, if need be. Yet, I will also try to adapt and accept your guys' feedback, as well as the participation, as well as also trying to compromise with you all, basically, on whatever may arise, so to speak, in that given moment of time frame. Okay, another one is to bear in mind is sometimes I do find it hard to cipher it out with you guys if you're joking or not. Okay, this is another trait that I've got out there. Sometimes I'm trying to get ready and understand more, which is good. That basically we need to find ways, obviously. Um, Another one is, okay, many people have told me this. A lot of people have noticed that I overanalyze and think too much on a given topic or everyday situations. Sorry, to me, that's me. Okay, I may see things differently to you, yes, but when it comes down to if you had a problem, as I said before, two heads are better than one. So then, in a given right, if I'm basically, how to put it nicely, if I'm basically focusing on that one given thing that I'm stuck on too much, even though, yes, I want it to a given point, maybe want to go it that way or the other way, seeing it black and white only, sometimes, or now I'm starting to learn that there are more than just one solution to every problem, to work on it, and hopefully within those, solutions to that problem will come a better outcome. Okay, another one to be in mind with in this piece that I'm sharing with you. For sometimes I feel in certain situations it arises, I may be too honest, as I said, too honest, too caring, and too loyal. Yet, again, I've noticed that when I've been sitting in my silent world, as in my way back in this piece, living in the silent world, I have been just sitting there observing you all and not able to speak and say my piece. It still exists today, obviously, however, trying to say my piece, in everyday life situations when I've been hanging around with certain normal people. Give and take, as said before, it would be nice if I can say my piece as well, so to speak. It would be nice. Sometimes also, however, when I do speak my mind, regardless of the situation, I fear that sometimes it may get me into trouble. Yet, again, I can be hard to understand that yet, again, despite this lack of understanding, or as I said before, that many people has put me on the too hard to understand basket or too hard to cope with basket, weighing up where I am on these labels, so to speak. But in the end, however, despite our differences, as I keep saying, it's all about acceptance and also meeting in the middle somewhere so that we can actually, hopefully, cause peace and harmony without the conflict arising now and again. Okay, again, as I said in my last pieces, when I do try and find my way of speaking my mind, even if it means trying to interrupt you all, I know it's kind of rude for me to interrupt you, but that's how I go about it now, because obviously I've noticed that many people, as I said in my last piece, can have that one sort of thinking that, as I said, they're up here, being high and mighty, thinking they have to be right all the time, that they have to be basically the one in charge, telling me and dictating to me. But hello, we're all humans. We shouldn't be robots and listening to you lot. We can obviously, as say, accept or reject that particular given moment of the topic that you share with us. But bear in mind that there are differences on matters of opinion, so to speak. Here, like with me, I have difference of matter opinion too. I do accept, however, that I do make mistakes, even though, yes, I am a bit fearful that when I make mistakes, I just have to get it right all the time. And within these given mistakes I do, I try, as I said in one of my videos, to fix it to a degree, hopefully, that will guarantee to get it right of those mistakes and move on from that. If I can't, then, then so be it. I'm learning now to try and let go and move on, as the saying goes. As I said, yes, everybody has struggles, but to me, here's another struggle I tend to contend with. I struggle with the yes and no questions. If anyone noticed, sometimes I can give a quick yes and no at that given moment. Sometimes I do struggle to a point that I feel like I'm being pressured with that yes and no. But then again, to me, with those yes and no questions, I add a little bit onto it, however, which is matter of opinion for myself. Sometimes also I hold back the yes and no's for a given reason, because my past experiences and who I've associated with, basically, like, I feel that I can't speak my mind. I feel as if it, oh, I don't care. It doesn't matter, Karen, of what do you think. It's all about me, syndrome. I've noticed that nobody gives a flying, excuse my terminology, fuck about people that's in their group that could be different. As I said, many people need to be empathetic enough to actually pick up and actually see what these people are like me, for example, being an SB, and actually trying to fit into their boots and whatnot as well. But then again, more on that later on in the piece about my views about how people are treated. Anyway, lateral thinking, even though this was supposed to be based on my introduction here, lateral thinking is definition. My terminology all based on it, is defined as an idea generation, I should say, and a technique that is used for problem solving. That new concepts can be taken into account regardless what it is in a novel way. Okay, and now logical thinking, however, on the other hand of this definition, is pretty much defined as any idea carried forward, yet the sideways of lateral thinking defined as that any idea carried forward, yet the sideways lateral thinking most of the time provokes fresh ideas or changes. Yet the logical thinking, however, can overcome or tries to overcome the problems for us that we have been facing to tackle head on. To find certain solutions from everyday angles, as well as testing us in everything we do. As we know that in our day and age, however, for example, before I end this piece, given of an everyday situation, we know that it tests us in everything. Spirit, mind, spiritual, the works. However, bear in mind though, that with those choices we make, that we come to face with those situations, like, be it if it was with me, pretty much I'll seek help from others around me and hope that maybe in return, as said in one of my videos, that you guys can do it for me. That, I can give you my sound advice, take it or leave it, accept it, reject it, so to speak, and see how you go about it. You never know. Like I said, you'll be surprised probably with what I give you as a solution of what I maybe have been through with that given situation that you guys may be going through. It may work for you, it may not. I'm not saying that I can fix everything, despite that, yes, as I said in one of my videos, that being an SB, I have different hats. Be it, like I said, counsellor, be it a Mrs. Fix-It, be it a problem solver, be it trying to be a creative person, regardless if it's in my writing, cooking, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, as I said, acceptance is the key to everything. Being different can be daunting, scary and challenging, but at the end of the day, also, we're just like you, and hopefully we can fit into the mold of your guys' shoes versus you guys fitting in our shoes and meet in the middle for connection. So, in all honesty, to wrap it all up, be true, be you, be your own self, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. Subscribe, comment, follow, and I'll see you soon.